Two guys talking about the good old days. Half of it's truth, the rest's a haze. If it bombed back then, it kills right now. Yeah, memories funny like that somehow. Names get dropped, stories grow tall. Every set was a murder, no bombs at all. The stand-up memories, take it as you please. Where the past gets better with every telling tease. Welcome to Stand-Up Memories.
I'm a nervous.
Why don't you tell your
wreck.
Eddie Murphy story?
I tell my Eddie Murphy story virtually every show. He gets irritated. I'm nervous because this.
The hard part is when we go to the diner and you tell it to the waitress.
Welcome, first of all, welcome to Stand Up Memories.
Thank you.
I'm Peter Bales, and this is Jackie, the joke man, Martling. And the reason I'm nervous is because the lady sitting right there is my wife. We are married.
No, you didn't tell me that.
And yes, I did.
I know all his secrets.
And my wife is named Peaches Rodriguez, and she's a comedian. She's terrific. She works all over the place. She's a stand-up comedian, and had a previous life in the world of hip hop as a dancer and many other things.
So you're basically saying before she met you, she had a life.
She had a life.
Thank you. Finally,
life-
somebody said it.
The life.
Yes.
And then
And then my life went downwards.
And people always say, we don't look like we go together. The ultimate example of that is she was performing in Harlem at the Apollo, and she took me to the show. I was in the audience. And
I'm sure you didn't stand out.
Not at all.
No, actually not at all. It was a very mixed crowd. But she had many of her Latino and Black friends there. And she introduced me to a couple of them as her husband. And the guy looked at me and he goes, "Are you fucking kidding me?" He did.
Swear to God, he did.
That's great.
And then I gave him a homework assignment to read a history book because that's what I do.
Most people think when we're together,
That you're
he's
walking
a John or he's my parole officer.
That's horrible.
Now that
We made a funny video, just the two of us, of her on the dance floor. And I was sitting on the side of the dance floor reading a book.
which is, sounds more like a documentary.
It does.
So now at the Apollo, there's that stump, right? And on your way out, you're supposed to touch the lucky stump
Mm-hmm.
because the guy that I actually got inspired to play guitar by backed up a 5-piece singing group from Glen Cove called the Gents, 5 black guys, and they got booked at the Apollo. And he said he was like in 11th grade and he was petrified. Little white Italian guy. Place was completely black audience, packed to the hilt. And they introduced the Gents and they came walking out and he was so nervous that he forgot to touch the stump. And he said the MC did like 2 minutes on him and he said it was the longest 2 minutes of his life, That's all right. You can touch it. You can touch. Oh boy. Oh my God. That's great fun.
I'm going to have to Google the stump.
He doesn't know
I don't know
Yeah,
about
that's true though, right?
about Black and Latin culture at all.
No,
If you
wait,
do not
I know-
touch the
I
stump.
know.
The stump is hallowed.
I know, but what I learned from you, really.
Okay.
Now we should tell the audience that
The point is you're supposed to pay attention when she's talking.
That's exactly it. Thank you, Jackie.
let me tell the audience.
No, I also had a wife once upon a time.
we met in 1995, and our
He
first
remembers.
date was fairly new in comedy, and we had a show. Our first date was actually a show we were both on an aircraft carrier
Yeah.
in New York
Manhattan.
Harbor, Fleet Week.
The Intrepid,
No,
which is the name of our whole relationship.
Yeah, you could tour that, right?
Yes.
I think
You
we
can
had a
tour
K,
our relationship too.
yes.
I think we had a K-Rock, party, Christmas party, or one of our holiday parties on the Intrepid. Is that possible?
Can you imagine that many
How
men?
much did Howard charge you to go to that?
Oh,
Come on.
Jeez,
how
the
many men died for the Intrepid to be a catering hall.
Jesus.
Yeah,
That's
It's
sad.
unbelievable. That's what it is right now. It is literally.
But my
a catering
wife,
hall.
Peaches Rodriguez, has a history.
Oh boy.
So were you hosting? Was she hosting?
He was hosting actually.
Did I host?
Yeah, you were hosting that night.
Yeah, but there was stand up.
Pat Man brought me out.
Yeah,
Remember
there's
Pat
a great funny comedian named Pat Man. All 300 pounds of him.
Yeah.
My point is, before she was a comedian, she was a dancer and in the vanguard, in the very absolute earliest days of the creation of hip hop. Now, what year?
So there's no pole.
No pole
No
involved,
pole.
my friend.
No.
No pole involved.
Jackie.
I actually had talent.
Oh,
That thing.
Uh,
that can happen.
That could
So-
happen.
Some of the girls on those poles are
Pretty talented.
quite talented.
Yeah.
Like I'm in a strip club.
Not that you would
you
know,
have
Jackie.
in a
I'm
couple
in
months.
in a week. I never went to them.
Now, listen. So, Peach, can you just tell the audience the thumbnail version of
Sure.
where you were and how hip hop started, where it started, and what was it the late 70s or the very early
For
80s?
me, and this is the thumbnail version. I grew up Mexican in Connecticut and had no way of connecting with anybody. So I literally taught myself to dance by watching Soul Train and connecting with the Black and Latin community in Hartford, Connecticut. I became a really high skilled dancer in robot and popping and locking, which it didn't even have a name at that time. And
I know what popping and locking is
do
because
you really?
yes, because you have told me every night since we got together.
But are you
And-
talking
and
about dancing in a troupe or
No,
solo?
solo. It was a style of dance that technically came from Los Angeles, the Electric Boogaloos, the Lockers, and Shields and Yarnell. I don't know if you remember them. They had a television show back in the day. So a lot of our movement was based on those three things and the mixing of those three things. And I learned it really well. And I ended up moving into Manhattan at the exact perfect time that all of this was coming together in 1982
Okay.
when the Rocksteady crew was.
Just
and
to
all of
show
the-
how ignorant I am of this, where is breakdancing part of that or something completely
It's an umbrella.
different?
Breakdancing would be considered an umbrella word, and these dances are all underneath the umbrella. There's b-boying, and that's all the floor work, and then all the other stuff, the popping, the locking, and the roboting, all come
what
under
is
it.
popping?
Popping is very sharp, movements. They're
Okay.
very precise, and
Well, that sounds like robot.
it's exactly what it is.
Oh, good.
But it shifts a little bit when the robot actually goes into dancing with the beat, along with the very hardcore part of the beat. So you're hitting the beat in a perfection
Wow.
manner. So it's different than robot. And robot doesn't necessarily go with the music, but popping does. So it shifted a little bit.
And is that like what the background dancers for Michael Jackson did? That
It
kind of stuff?
is as it came on. As a matter of fact, Michael started dancing pre robot, and then he had to go to the guys that I learned from to learn the robot. So we're all a community. We all know each other, both Los Angeles and New York City. So all
See,
those
now,
guys.
I never heard pop or robot or any
Locking
of that.
or any
I
of that.
Never heard that.
But
Yeah.
she was there. But the ultimate umbrella is hip hop.
Well,
right?
hip hop is a word that actually kind of came later. We actually pre-existed the word hip hop. Hip hop came later when the rap started coming in and becoming much more popular. The music and the style that we danced to was called electro funk, which was Trans Europe Express and all of those kinds of.
So there was no
music.
hip hop. I mean,
No,
not
hip hop.
yet.
The word wasn't being used at that time. It was just everything was separated, and then it all came under hip hop, and that was it, the new label that came a little bit later. I would say it came late mid 80s or something. I listen. A lot of people say it pre-existed, but I didn't hear it.
Now, you have been speaking at various places,
Yeah.
prestigious places,
Yeah.
universities and stuff, about the 50th anniversary
Yeah,
of hip hop, which we just had.
we had it 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I spoke at.
Hold, let me digest that.
yeah.
The 50th anniversary.
Yes, that's how old this
of-
is.
Holy
Yes.
Christmas.
What's going on right now, Jackie? I'm going to catch you up quickly. is the dance itself and the culture itself is now being taught in universities. And a lot of people are getting their PhD in, hip hop, African American and Latin culture,
The history of it.
the history of it, and they actually gain their PhDs. I spoke at Princeton and I spoke at Yale and at Rutgers. So I speak about this in the very, very beginnings and the movement, and then I also teach the fine tuning of it to the new generation that are coming up that are dance students that want to learn it.
Wow.
So yeah.
Now, have you ever tried this?
I hurt my back immediately. Hey, Michael, we have Peaches or Rodriguez. She became. She was at Studio 54 when it was amazing. But more importantly, she toured with the Gypsy Kings. She traveled the world, right?
Mhm.
Not only
Mhm.
Nassau, but also Suffolk County.
Suffolk County
Whoa.
too? I went all the way over the
Michael,
border.
do we have any pictures? Our producer, Michael Zinn, is going to drop in. Oh, there's what she looked like.
My Tony Basil era.
Now, is that M for Michigan, University of Michigan?
Actually, that's my real name.
That's you want to. You don't want.
Marietta.
Oh, so the M was for your.
Yeah. I
Oh,
wore
so that
It
wasn't
was,
that
it was
wasn't-
like a
No, that was not the
no.
University of Michigan.
Well, that's their exact logo.
I know,
That
I know.
exact,
It is their
That's-
logo.
that
You're
exact
right.
font.
He's kind of correct. He's kind of correct.
Okay.
Right.
It happens. Even a
Yeah.
blind pig finds an acorn.
But what I think is interesting, a lot of people transition in life. She's still the same gender, but
That
you
you
had
know of.
you know, dance is very difficult because you get past your mid-30s. Thank you, and you blew out your knee.
I blew out my knee in early 90s and came back from it and came back better and ended up doing stand-up comedy right after that, sort of in the interim of like being off for about a year.
But you danced after your.
Yeah. And
Are we talking knee replacement or just?
no, I didn't do the
ligaments
knee
and-
replacement. I did compensatory therapy,
Wow.
which is weights. So
But
you put the weights on it.
you went into stand-up comedy kind of seeing that this dancing thing is physically challenging. I blew up my knee.
Of course,
I
of
need
course,
to
looking for
stand- see-
longevity. And
Yeah, the
looking for-
clock is ticking.
Yeah,
Of
the clock
course.
is ticking. So she goes into stand-up comedy and she meets me and her life
And
has
that
gone
was just
downhill.
when you were going into dance.
I
Right?
was-
You just
I was
beginning-
becoming an older.
You're very successful at that.
And so she knows all about hip hop and dancing and also about stand-up comedy.
So the first time you saw him was him hosting?
Yeah, he was hosting at Governor's.
I will never forget the first time I saw him host because he did the same material last night.
I got news for you. He's always going to do the same.
No,
material.
so
Jimmy
that was
Carter.
when the first time you saw
Jimmy
him.
Carter is funny.
What'd
I
you
don't
say?
care.
That first time you saw him was when he was hosting and introducing.
Yeah.
That's where
I
we
think
met.
that's so cool. That's so cool.
He was. I thought
I'm
he
not
was
even being
adorable.
sarcastic.
No. He was so cute. He had the nice brown hair, and he had the glasses exactly.
I have to
where-
stop you. Did you hear that?
He had the,
was.
He was
so
so
cute.
cute. He had the nice
He
brown.
was
He had the
so
same
cute.
glasses that he has on now.
I have to admit, I think he looks exactly the same.
He does. He
But
even
I only
has
say
the
that 'cause
same
he
hair.
says it to me,
He
yeah.
combs it over on one side like.
Right.
Hey, Michael,
Right.
Peaches looks exactly the same as she did when I met her.
We all do.
Let's get that
Oh.
face shot, that
Oh
headshot.
man.
She hasn't changed a bit. She hasn't changed a bit
I have
since
great
I met
teeth,
her.
though.
Wow.
Great teeth.
I love that.
If somebody like that came up to you and said, "Can I get a spot tonight on the show?"
You would have
No,
to
if
say
somebody
that.
came
I
up to
would-
me like
I-
that, they would have been kicking me. Yes, of course.
I said, we gotta."
So you
we went
gave
out
her a
on
better spot on
I
the
gave
show?
her-
He gave me a good spot.
good
Three,
spot- a
number
good s-
3. That was a
good
really good
spot.
one. He passed me. Ooh.
I gave
That's
her
another
a
word
good,
for
a
it.
good spot, and we started going out. First date on an aircraft carrier, and the rest
Wait a
is
minute. Wait a
history.
minute. You met and then did the show on the aircraft
Yeah,
carrier?
the next day.
yeah,
Yeah, it was really
Well, you
cool.
met that night.
we met at Governor's, and then right after that, we had a show on an aircraft.
Oh,
carrier.
really cool.
okay. I was confused.
Yeah. And but
So you were auditioning at Governor's?
Was I? I think I was. Wasn't I?
Yeah, you were real
Yes.
new. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
And you passed her,
of course I did.
and then you gave her a gig.
No, well,
Yeah.
that wasn't
And then
my
it was
that wasn't
like-
my gig.
Then it was like
No,
you-
it actually
you
was
owned
my
it.
it was
gig.
her gig. She put me on it.
Wow,
He actually was kind of auditioning for me.
I get that.
I passed you,
get
baby.
that.
I passed you, baby.
Yeah, that's a little detail that you never told me.
Yeah, see that?
Never filled me in on that.
Yes.
No.
Now, she kept in the hip hop world, in the breakdancing world,
Mentor
popping
many,
and
I
mentoring many people.
Many of my dancers have been on America's Got Talent and gotten down to like the last 10.
Now,
So as
not to
I-
be totally stupid,
Mhm,
there was no dancing
mhm.
in your stand up. I mean,
Actually, there is.
that
Actually, when I
I
do my
wasn't-
full out show, as you've seen me in the city, I would not do it. But, when I'm on the road or whatever, it's almost like, hey, will you dance at that? Yeah. And I have a bit that I have that I get in it, it's a trick bit. That I
but
get
that's
into it.
that's very fun and very different.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm
Is
so-
she limber?
She's a lot more limber than I am. Let's put it that way. Okay. Now I want to.
You see this chair?
But we are kind
This
of
chair is more limber than you.
we are leading into something that's very interesting, Jackie.
I want to brag.
Okay.
I want to brag.
He
about
wants to
something.
brag, and then you let
and
me talk.
and I will let you talk. I'll let you explain everything. But this is just justice, or just things being right. She continues on dancing. She loves dancing. Talks about it all the time. Goes out dancing while I'm in the library. Right. It wasn't that long ago. It's just a few years ago that Elton John had his final tour.
Right. He
And
did 4 years or 5 years during COVID almost.
Giant venues. And above Elton John and the whole big stage production, they had a big wraparound screen that played.
IMAX.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That
Yeah.
went with the songs he was playing. And they had dancers on video dancing to the songs he was playing. Peach went to audition for that and got it. And we're going to show you a clip of her in the at the top of
So when
Elton
he's
John.
performing,
Yeah.
you guys are.
Right above him.
You will see it.
a giant
But
video.
are you in sync with what he's?
Okay, this is the interesting story. So I'll tell you the story of it's a little bit interesting.
That's good.
My dance partner had just passed away, and I got a call from a classic DJ, a female DJ named Jazzy Joyce, and she told me about this audition that Elton John was looking for dancers that we're going to use the word OGs, in other words, original. And I said, okay. And I go to this, and there's all these 20-something kids instead of OGs.
This is
I'm
in
there.
Manhattan.
This is in Manhattan. I go in, and I'm dressed exactly like the way my dance partner used to dress. And everybody was kind of laughing at me. I went in, I auditioned, and the song was Philadelphia Freedom. And Philadelphia Freedom, in the very beginning of it, it has all these string hits. Dun, 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 dun. And that comes from Barry White, The Sound of Philadelphia. And that particular style of song, it has a very specific dance to it that goes back to the 70s. And I knew that dance, and it was called locking. And so I did that for the director, and the director stood up from the back of the room, and he goes, "That's what I'm looking for."
He was not expecting.
It was not
anybody to know
expecting, and I
that.
told him that that's the style of dance that goes with the song, and he was like, "Wow!" And so the next day, I was on the set, and none of those 20-somethings were there. All of the ones that were like sort of making fun of me for coming in, they were not there, and I did not know, but the color that they decided to put me in, I kind of fought them on it, but the color they decided to put me in, they would light the entire stage all the way around with each dancer as they came front and forward. If they were green, it would be green. If they were in red, it would be red. I ended up being in purple. So as Elton John is singing down center, and I come down, as I'm coming down the steps, I'm in purple. The whole stage lights up purple in the entire IMAX all the way around. And it was just
So you're coming down
Shocking.
the stairs.
I'm coming
in the
down
film.
this stairs in the film, like almost like Marilyn Monroe. And
And
Gentlemen prefer blondes. type thing.
exactly.
we have video of Peaches Rodriguez.
And I'm older now. I'm not a young one. This is only
Yeah,
in
there she is.
2019. So this is like kind of cool.
Go.
That's the style of dance.
That's so cool.
And that style of dance is called locking. Locking.
Like L-O-C-K.
L-O-C-K. It's got a history to it. It started on Soul Train by a gentleman by the name of Don Campbell Lock. And he was trying to do the funky chicken and he messed up and then he started doing all of this stuff. And it actually has a vocabulary and a life and
Jeez.
everything. There's so much to it.
So the big question is, did you turn Elton John?
Man, I rocked his world so much he stopped actually
I got to tell
performing.
you, that's the style of dance, locking.
Yeah.
In the bedroom once, I locked, but that was a different. That was the thing. That I had to go to a chiropractor. It was
had to take him to the
totally-
hospital.
That's where you stop.
Yeah, that's
No,
what
I
it
couldn't
is.
do that.
That's exactly what it is.
That's exactly what it is. And
But-
it's so big right now. The style of dance is like Korea, China, like India. I mean, these people are just going nuts over it. It has traveled the world and
Now,
It's
do
an
those
international-
K-pop people, do they do
that's
that?
all they do. They actually have learned this and taken it up a notch. It's really kind of taken over, like African American 60s and 70s dances have really taken over the whole world. And everybody's like, it's replaced ballet and jazz almost.
So
Yeah.
I'm glad I never bothered to learn the waltz. I knew there was no reason.
There's no future in that.
Who the hell needs that?
All right. But Peach is also doing a one-woman show.
Mm-hmm.
What's the title of that show?
Dancestors.
Dancestors. Good.
Isn't that a
So
great
is
name?
it?
It's a story of how I came from Connecticut, was inspired by Soul Train, inspired by the Lockers, inspired by Shields and Yarnell and all of the people that taught me and all of the dancers that I met, the Rocksteady crew and Mr.
Now, were you
Freeze.
learning this like from the television or from videos?
I learned it from the television and I ended up meeting the actual people who pioneered it in New York when I
But
moved
did
to
you
New
have
York.
friends that did it with you? That were,
I had two friends in Hartford that did it, and then they stopped. And it was very interesting because we were as this was being created, it was like a laboratory, and you would pull from all these different things. My dance partner, half of what he did was Elvis moves, because that's what was hot back then.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting? In 1977,
wow.
this guy, he'd do popping and then he'd stop and he'd do an Elvis move. And I was like, it's almost hilarious, but I have it on tape and I want to show people that as you try to create a vocabulary, you can see how things are actually coming together.
Everything's a
physically.
part of
It's
everything.
amazing. It's really amazing. It's a
Wow.
lab.
You know what I'm thinking as a professor? In science, they always say, and Isaac Newton said it first, I have stood upon the shoulders of giants. Well, I think the same thing is true in dance.
Yeah.
You were standing on the shoulders.
And
Of
I was in the right
giants.
time, the right place at the right time, because when I got to New York in the Village, I met the members of the Rocksteady crew who were the biggest break dancers. And
Now, is
the
that the
pioneer.
actual name of a crew?
they're called the Rocksteady crew. Everybody knows them. As a matter of fact, the owner of this studio is like a huge fan. And by the way, I brought a book. My goodness.
Show the book.
The book. Here you go.
It's called.
It is called Yo, Photography by Sophie Bramley. It's the early days of hip hop from 1982 to 1984. And it is photographs of everybody. And I'm saying going from LL Cool J, and that's
you.
me.
There you go.
How do
Let
I
me
do
see.
this?
Turn here.
Turn it this way.
Wow.
Turn it to the, show it to the,
And
there you
go.
are
So
dancing.
that's me on the left, and that's a guy named Muhammad, and he was one of the first poppers as well with the Rocksteady.
And
crew
that
going back.
looks like a New York street
It is in New York Street.
in
It's
the
Soho.
1980s.
Yeah.
It's garbage and just
Oh God.
not looking too good.
Look at that. And that's a Grand Mixer DST from the Herbie Hancock song Rocket. If you remember, he was one of the first people to scratch records. So it's like, that's Herbie Hancock. You remember that song Rocket? That's where he's from.
I remember Herbie
he's-
Hancock. I don't
And
remember.
he signed it. He signed it for me right there.
Oh, that's very
Oh,
cool.
He
that's
signed it.
cool.
So
That's
that's really
cool.
cool. It's a very, very cool book. And it's got a lot of goodies in it. Lots of stuff.
So she goes from hip hop and breakdancing to stand-up
Stand-up
comedy.
Comedy. When you break your knee, that's what you got to do.
That's what you got to do. You got to adjust.
Lateral move.
Was it a lateral move?
I think so.
No, yeah, I guess.
I had, I
had
had
to
been
survive.
taking improv and I, kept a lot of notes of like things and characters. And then what I did was I took them and I took a comedy class. See, that's what you got to do is take a
comedy class.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Standupuniversity.com.
Did you take that class?
No, I did not.
No.
Not until way later.
Oh no,
He couldn't talk.
Actually,
into
my
it.
class, I can mention who it was. It was a guy named Rob Weinstein who was comedy boot camp. Does
And it
anybody
was in
remember?
Manhattan.
It was in Manhattan
Yeah.
at the comic strip. And my picture was up at the comic strip for a
That's
little while.
that's a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a
can
long time ago.
Almost remember that name. I think.
Yeah.
Rob Weinstein. He was fantastic. Great comic.
That's
Yeah.
before the guy at Gotham and before you guys out here, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
So new comics or people who want to do stand-up comedy who are watching, it is useful. Great way to start taking a comedy class, whether it's Stand-Up University, my comedy class, or another one. There's lots of great teachers in this area. I'm just telling you, that's the way to
But
start.
you are the best,
But I'm
He
the best.
Absolutely.
And you know what?
and it's a great way to meet babes.
And
I'm
Hey.
talking to you women.
do you
Hey.
know? I'm segueing here.
Okay.
Amazingly segueing.
Okay, let me hear the segue.
Well, the segue is that, if you want to do stand-up comedy, find a good class like standupuniversity.com.
Mhm.
Third time I got it in.
Wow.
But here at Paradise Studios, where you can get all of your video podcasting needs satisfied, great facility. Bobby Lacera is the head honcho here. He's got the Long Island Podcasting School. And if you want to go into podcasting, he'll teach you everything about it, how to do it, how to get comfortable, how to make it work. And he's got all different kinds of classes. Go online, the Long Island Podcasting School, but at Paradise Studios.
You know what I'm going to do?
Do this.
I'm going to start comedy podcasting school. I'm going to take a little bit of you and a little bit of him and teach people how to be funny while they're podcasting.
That's the hardest part, is to be funny while they're podcasting.
I'm
right?
still waiting.
Yeah.
Thank you. She could be a little
ridiculous.
sarcastic.
No, it's Peter's classes are really, really great. They had a lot of success stories and
Right.
Thank you for
bottom
that.
line-
That was
Thank
nice.
you for
bottom
that.
line, a lot of fun.
Michael
lot
Zinn, that was
of
nice
fun.
little shout out. I like you did that. It's called Dancestors. He found it.
That's great.
And the solo show
Oh,
is
wow.
interesting because I do this at learning institutions for I did City Center.
Also,
and,
this is current.
yeah. No,
It's
I'm
not
doing
something you're gonna
No,
do.
I actually do the story. I do like 15, 20 minutes of how I got there and how I was with this dance. And then I teach people something called Laugh and Dance for Long Life, which is a little bit of joking around and a little bit of movement every day for longevity. And then I teach a little basics of the dance, and it's usually a 45-minute program that I'm doing.
And that's so healthy. Barbara, my girlfriend, literally 5 times a day does 5 minutes of laps around the house. And I used to make fun of her, but she's getting in great, that's like
it.
a half hour of jogging.
Your
Yeah, but
house
the-
is that big that it takes.
But I gotta seriously.
it's a small circle. But
when
if you
she
do enough laps,
when she does that, does she wake you up?
No. Different floor.
What exercises do you do?
I get out of bed. Sometimes I go for coffee.
To the
No, I actually
kitchen.
finally went swimming yesterday, day before.
That's amazing. Yes, he
Long
told me
Island
about that.
Sound. He's not kidding. I've been swimming with you a couple times. It's cold, and it's got to be really cold. And
Right now it's already warm, and I can't
No
believe it
way.
because it
Oh,
was
way.
not
No way.
warm, but I used to go too early. I used to go early in May, and it'd be very cold, and you'd have to jump in and wiggle around a lot, and then sometimes you get used to it, and the great thing about going in early in May is because you go in, and every day you go in, it's a hair warmer, But I hadn't been in a while. I went and met my friend Burf and Steve, and went down to Center Island, and we said, well, we'll put our toes in, and we wound up jumping in and thrashing around like, how the hell? Usually it'd have to be a bunch of 90 and 80-degree days for like a week, and all of a sudden it's human. But the
Yeah.
weather's been crappy. It's been, it's been nasty, but it's nice now. And so
He's swimming, so that'll cheer him up.
That's
it,
cool.
it really
So-
does.
so-
I wake up in the morning, instead of waiting there and having tea and being a log, I jump up, and before I even think about it, I grab my suit, jump in the water, take an outdoor shower, and sometimes I climb back in bed and have tea with Barbara. But I'm like,
Aw.
you feel like $1 million bucks.
That's excellent.
So
That's
as you
excellent.
saw, see Peach's hair wasn't always that color.
That's right.
Now watch me do a setup. So Peach, what just made you decide to go from the really dark Latina hair to what you've got now?
As soon as I saw the little grays popping up and looking like you, I said, blonde.
That's not what I was setting you up for, and you know it was not what I was setting you
I
up
don't
for.
want to look like Peter Bales.
Wait, come on, say it. I'm setting you up for a joke from your act. Say it.
I didn't want to say it.
Why?
It's a throwaway.
It's a throwaway.
It's a throwaway.
It's true,
But
though.
tell me.
It's-
Come on.
He likes that. Look, I'm Latina. I'm Mexican, right?
Okay.
The day after Donald Trump got elected, I dyed my hair blonde.
Your father actually,
Ice isn't
your
gonna get
father
me.
actually voted for Donald Trump. Why your father, a Mexican guy, vote for Donald Trump?
I asked him why. He goes, because they say you're going to make a wall, and that means they won't let my mother-in-law back in.
You make
Now
comedy-
that is logic.
that's logic, and
Genius.
it's funny.
It's called voting your interest.
Perfect
Voting for
logic.
your
There you
interest.
go. See,
Perfect
working-
logic.
Yes.
Working comedy
He's
in here.
genius. Genius.
Oh man!
And you're blonde, so they cannot grab you and take you away.
And they stopped following me around and when I'm stealing in stores.
That's
All right.
I can
terrific.
steal much easier.
That's terrific.
It's awesome.
Okay,
I gotta remember that.
that's great. Well, I'm first of all, this has been a wonderful show.
We talked more about him swimming than we did anything
Yeah, the
else.
biggest topic was Jackie.
Jackie
swimming.
and his little
Jackie-
banana hammock.
Jackie has a house right on Long Island Sound in Bayville.
Brag.
No, it's gorgeous. And from his bedroom window,
You can see the bay.
it's entirely water. There's
That's
there's
amazing.
no land in it. It's just
That's a blessing. You
it's
know?
a, it
It's
is a blessing. It is a
You have
blessing.
Well,
to
I go out
enjoy
on the
it.
beach
You
and I
worked
do-
hard for it. You
I do
enjoy it.
break dancing out there,
There you go.
and I do the stop and the what's it called? The freeze, the
Locky.
lock,
Popping,
Popping.
locking.
and then they go shoplifting.
I love these two. Look at them. They're twins. I like them.
Okay, so
Frightening,
outfits.
isn't it frightening?
everybody in her world has a nickname,
That's right.
and some of the nicknames are really, really cool.
They really are.
And she's introduced me to a lot of these dances.
Kid Dynamite.
That's
Kid
great.
Dynamite. It also could sound like a pimp, but Kid Dynamite, Mr. Freeze, Mr. Wiggles.
These are real people.
These are real people. These are people that are pioneers that everybody knows. Trust me.
Now,
And
what?
there's another one named Mr. Fable, as in like telling tales, fable.
Well, that's like Peter talking about his show last night.
Ex-
If you weren't there, what? So the obvious elephant in the room is
Yes.
is peaches on your birth certificate?
It's not on my birth certificate,
What did-
but it is.
Oh, peach style.
I was so sure she was going to show us that it was tattooed on her ass or something like that. So, what is your God-given name?
Mariette.
Mariette?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful
It's
name.
a nice name. But, when you're dancing in circles, they don't go Marriott, go Marriott.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Go
just not that
Peaches,
good.
go Peaches.
Go Peaches. Go.
Wow.
Go Jackie.
Go,
Go
Jack.
Peter.
Did you
Go,
ever
Peter.
have a nickname?
Everybody in the world has nicknames. And I used to give nicknames to everybody.
But you didn't get one.
And I never had one, and it pissed me off. And one year I went to Boy Scout camp, and I used to not go with my troop because I wanted to go with strangers. I wanted to meet people from different places on Long Island because the guys you hang out with, your Boy Scout troop, you know them. Why go?
He
hang with
was thrown out of his troop.
So I'm
Go
going
ahead.
there to hang with strangers. I get this bright idea. I'm going to give myself a nickname. They
Okay.
always say, "What's your name?" and what do they call you? What's
I
your
can't
name?
wait. I got to hear this.
And they said, "What's your name?" And I said, "Well, my name is Jackie Martling, but everybody calls me Skip."
Skip?
And they're strangers.
Such a
They're not going
white
to say.
name.
They're not going to say, "Wait a minute, you're
Skip.
lying." But for the next 2 weeks, they say, "Hey, Skip, Skip,
You
Skip."
are- you are-
because I didn't.
You
know
are
they were
not
talking.
a skip.
Of course, I was for 2. Well, I think it lasted about 3 days.
So let's
and
give him a name now. Why don't we give you a nickname?
No, I actually had
Okay.
a name to
It's
this.
got to be cool though. It's got to be. It
Yeah,
can't
well,
be corny.
I had a nickname in high school.
I had a long song that I used to play way back in my songwriting days. And at the end of it, I said, "Here I sit, the educated man, chief in charge of nothing." And so for years I was called Chief.
Ah.
And my brother-in-law still calls me Chief.
You know what I would probably call you?
Hump.
No, Jack Attack.
Jack Attack?
That's
Jack
cool.
Attack.
Is that my dancing name?
That would be your
that would-
name.
yeah.
That would be your hot name.
I
Jack
didn't,
Attack.
my nickname in high school
Was Pete.
in the locker room was French bread.
All right, I'll bite.
Oh my God!
What the-
I'll bite. I'll bite with syrup.
What is French bread?
What the hell?
Never mind. I lied.
Oh, he's talking about the shape of the bread.
No,
I didn't even like.
I lied.
Oh,
Come
is
on.
this
Are you
the
serious? It's a dick
size
joke?
of your dick joke?
Actually, my nickname was Cheeto.
Oh,
okay.
God!
I really bring the show down at the
You
end?
really did. You
Like-
we
like-
had elevated with Jack Attack,
Like a
and
French bread?
and then you just brought it down.
I think we're at Michael's
a
letting us go.
loaf of French bread?
I threw it out there.
We got to let Bobby go to sleep.
Yeah, we do.
Poor
We do.
Bobby.
Bobby
Sorry about that, man.
Lacera is the owner of this whole
From now on,
shebang,
he's French bread.
Paradise Studios.
No, don't give him French bread. It's too big.
Okay.
I'll just call him loaf.
This has been a fun show with my wife. I think we're not going to fight when we get home because the show went very well.
Take my wife.
Oh, please. Penny Youngman. Pizza-
Email me, jokeland@aol.com, and I will write you back and we'll goof on French loaf. Or what was it?
French olive loaf.
French bread.
We could call him Lady Fingers.
Lady fingers.
I like
okay.
Lady Fingers.
Peaches Rodriguez.
Subway sandwich.
Can I
Yeah.
say where my socials are?
Yeah, where?
Okay, it's Peaches Rodriguez on Facebook, and it's Peaches Rodriguez 1 on TikTok, Peaches Rodriguez 1 on Instagram. On TikTok, I have 1.2 million views. I want you to add to it. Go and look. I've been viral many times with the dance stuff. So
Now,
All right.
why the Peaches Rodriguez one? Is there another Peaches Rodriguez?
yeah,
somewhere?
729.
Jeez.
That's what you have to do. You got
All
to figure
right.
it out.
I am Peter Bales
We
on
can
my
get this book,
on
too.
MySpace.
Are you Peter Bales one?
On MySpace.
Or do you-
MySpace.
Or do you stand
MySpace.
alone? Right.
All right. Stand Up Memories. Peaches Rodriguez.
Thank you
dancer,
to Bobby.
comedian Bobby Lacera.
Love you, Bobby.
Jackie the Joke Man Martling. And again, I'm Peter Bales. And we'll see you next time on Stand Up Memories.
We'll
Thank
be
you,
back.
Mr. Zinn.